Change is coming, I've been told. Where the trouble's young and the jaded old. We've been all round up, now we don't see true.
Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to the first edition of Wellness TV. I'm Ro and
Belinda.
And we're really grateful that you're here and we've got a great show for you. Okay, so I'd like you to welcome to the stage the next big thing in the Newcastle music scene. You please put your hands together for Byron Saul. Well, we need to, I suppose, introduce the next speaker, who's going to be the first speaker, who is Tuiai. Where are you, my little friend?
Even though we're talking about wealth and it's a serious subject, it doesn't have to be hard work or struggle. You can have fun with it and make the money that you love. It's called a wider wealth spectrum. So this is what the rich do. When they go into things, they're looking at all the different opportunities. They're open to all those opportunities, this whole spectrum that's this wide. From that spectrum of opportunities, they then decide which opportunity works for them, what's best suited to them, and then they make their choice and they go for it. I can guarantee you the difference between someone who's making a couple of $1,000s and someone who's making millions of dollars is willingness and curiosity. If you don't have that wealth, you don't have the resources, how are you going to create your vision into reality? So it's first about being true to yourself, and then being about harnessing that, knowing how to actually turn that into something that's going to come with you and work with you.
And obviously wealth is important because it's not that funny to be unwealthy and it's hard to make good health choices if you're struggling financially, so it's an interesting thing.
Ryan, what do you think wellness is? Define what wellness is to you.
It's about being, like you want to be physically active, physically fit, but also having it in your mind that, when you look in the mirror, you look at yourself and know that you how you'd like to be.
And so where does a champion like yourself go to get all the best information on health and wellness?
Wellness TV Unplugged!
Our next speaker is one of Australia's leading sex experts and relationship counsellors. She has over 20 years of experience in the field. We're very excited to have her here today. Cindy Darnell, would you like to come down and have a chat with us?
And so for me, what I think started my journey was a genuine curiosity, and a genuine curiosity about interpretations of sexuality that we didn't see in the media, interpretations of sexuality that didn't apply across the board.
Having a great sex life is also a huge part of that, for most of us. I think it would be fair to say.
I would say, having a great sex life, but great is subjective. What's great for one person is not going to be great for another. We are led to believe that sex is just something that naturally happens, that you magically turn 18 and this information is just kind of downloaded into your head and you know how to be a good shag, when actually, in most cases, that's not true, because if no one's ever taught you and you've never had a conversation about it, how are you going to know? Really?
That was my next. Can you please give us some tips?
Well,
please give us
how
some
long have you
tips.
got? Well, the main thing is it's really about finding out what turns you on. And when I say what turns you on, I don't mean necessarily what acts or what positions, although that could be part of it. It's about I guess one of the questions that I ask all my clients, and I'll ask you, and you don't have to answer because we are in a public space, but the question that I do ask clients that really gets a real surge from them is, why do you have sex?
Cindy, thank you so very, very much.
Thank you.
We have a bouquet for you.
Oh, thanks.
What do you think about health? What would be your formula for health? You're obviously a person who seems to be very healthy.
not too much of anything, but it's a lot of the little things.
Alright, so we're going to play now with a little interview now, and then we'll move along. Bruce, can I start by asking, how did you get to where you are now? Like, what was the journey? How did that happen?
A long, strange trip it's been. It started out, I was a cell biologist teaching in medical school, teaching the conventional world that genes control life and health and all those aspects like that. So I was teaching that to medical students. And at the same time, I was culturing stem cells. And just to let people know that this was from 46 years ago when I was culturing stem cells. So at that time, there was very few of us in the entire world that even knew what a stem cell was. So I had an opportunity to do work on these cells, and the cell research revealed that the story about genes was incorrect, that genes were not controlling life. My research clearly revealed that the environment or the organism's response or perception of the environment is what's controlling the genes.
Ian, what's your definition of wellness?
Being in tune with yourself and all around you.
And would you say this is a good place to do that?
This is a pretty good place to do it, especially when you're sorting out eating that as fast.
Now I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Luke Richards from Naturalis, who are very local.
Neural organisational technique. Its basis is from the body's own self-healing and self-regulating system. It's the understanding that we all heal ourselves given the chance, essentially. What happens is the survival systems kick in when we're under stress. When an alarm comes in, or a stressful situation, we go onto red alert, and our body gets in defensive mode. When we get into a defense mode, what happens is we shut down the non-essential systems. The non-essential systems are things that aren't required for our immediate survival.
So for example, if you're holding that tremor pattern, then you're also running elevated stress hormones. And not only that, the blood flow, where you're operating in cognitively, we want to be here, passionate, loving, aware. If you're running high trauma patterns, then you're back here. This is I'm angry, I'm overwhelmed, I'm not loving. NOT is very, very good at doing this, and I think that's, I cannot recommend more highly, trying NOT if you have malingering conditions from things you can't really put your finger on.
Exactly. Thank you. And it's all based along the premise that it's in relation to. So if something is compromised over here, for argument's sake, it's going to relate and affect what's happening over here. So if your jaw or whatever is locked down, you won't digest or be able to digest food properly and so forth, and then it compromises every other aspect of the system.
Perfect. Tell us about what NOT can do.
Okay.
So who do you use it on and what do you use it on
for? So what we do is with NOT is we reset the neurology of the body so it reacts appropriately to stress. Thank you, Luke.
So Bailey, what's the secret of happiness?
The secret of happiness is to find the things that you love and that you're passionate about, and then to do that every day.
So where do you go to get all the latest news and info on health and wellness?
Wellness TV Unplugged, of course.
Up next, I'd like to introduce the amazing Kate Gorman. Kate, can you come and join us, please?
I was so passionate about trying to make things better in this country for my daughters, because if I didn't do that, then the time would come when they're at their birthing age and the choice would not be there for them. There would be one system that they could choose, and that would be it. Like being able to choose where you have your baby and who is with you when you have your baby, that's a human right issue.
What would you like to happen from now?
I would like all women, young women who haven't birthed yet, I would like high school girls to be more informed about their birth choices, to be more informed of the benefits of a natural birth and the benefits of birthing in an environment with people that support you, because you're going to have the best outcome.
Tanya and Reinhard, welcome to Wellness TV. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been a fan of Tucky Tina for some time now, and I think it's one of the most brilliant systems that I've ever come across. What I'd love you to do is just share a little bit about the system.
Well, Tucky Tina uses rhythm to actually build consciousness, and it's not just a musical learning program. It is a process where you guide it with your body into actually 3 different rhythms. And you're invited to join the drum with the steps and the voice, and then there are different claps. You're right away in the position where you have to let go of only doing, and you have also allow things to happen. So the I do and it happens kind of merges very early on. And that deepens and deepens through a process we call chaos phases, or you could also say fluid states, like out of order into order. Yes. And that's very important, because every time you go out of order and into a flow state or a chaos state, you also let go of rigidity and go into more flexibility. And it provokes a lot of different things in you. One is resilience, that you can, you learn to be much more stable in the whole. You're not throwing off so easy in life and in music.
So Fabio, what's the secret of wellness then?
2 things: healthy lifestyle and everyday practice.
Where do you go to get all the best information on health and wellness?
Wellness TV Unplugged, of course.
I have been down the wellness pathway, rabbit hole, for about 25 years now, and I've seen a lot of stuff. I'm really passionate about movement. I'm really passionate about the evolutionary effects of movement. Now, my dream down this journey was to come up with something that could really help people who were in serious health deficits. Say, for example, people who had serious accidents and they lost mobility. What we've done is monitored. The big difference about what we do, and I consider myself to be a complementary therapist, and one of the big arguments made against us is it's all hocus pocus, it's all, you've heard it all. So what we're trying to do is change that paradigm by saying, look, we are using research-grade electronic data monitoring to collect data sets, so that when you say that type of thing, we can say, well, unless you think we were influencing this electronic data capture, then there appears to be some things going on here that may be real. So that's what myself and my team do, and I'm immensely proud of that.
What's the secret of happiness?
Maybe a couple of flowers here and there and a lot of hugs. Wellness TV Unplugged. Gotta go there.
Natrin Godis is a doctor of Chinese medicine. She's an acupuncturist, a natural fertility educator, an author and a speaker. So please welcome Nat. How do you describe fertility?
When I say what I do for work and I say, I'm a natural fertility specialist, it's almost like, I don't want to talk to her. It might rub off. I might have a baby. I might kiss her hello and all of a sudden I'm impregnated. And of course, it's so much more than that. Fertility, I say, is not about babies at all. It's about having a thriving reproductive system. You've got all the bits and bobs working, and you being basically an amazing person that when the time is right for you to conceive, then you totally have the ability to go on and do that. When we talk about something specific like hormone imbalance, your conventional treatment is the pill. Now the problem is it's only treating the symptoms, it's masking the symptoms actually. It's not treating anything, and then a woman comes off it and she's 100 times worse than what she was before she went on it. It's not fixing anything. Young women need to hear this. Young women need to get inspired. I need to take the fear out of what they don't know, help educate them so that they can then go and make informed decisions, because I just don't think that we're able to do that at the moment.
Okay, Faye, what's the best way to keep healthy?
I keep the exercise
Yep.
every day.
Every day?
Every day, no stop.
May I ask what age you are now?
For 86.
86 plus.
Bowling, TV, and drum.
One of the things I'm passionate about my crusade is busting the exercise thing. Right now, are you doing it to be fit? Are you doing it to lose weight? Neither one of them are really that relevant. How fit do you really need to be in your everyday life? Or would you rather be able to resist stress on a higher level? Which one is more important to you? So building this asset and this asset even more, your emotional intelligence is number one. This is second, and the body's third. There's no point having smoking guns if you're stressed out of your head all day, you can't even hold a conversation with your partner. It's what we believe with exercise. Tiny spikes, he's putting a lot of effort in, but he's only getting tiny spikes of electrical activity. Mountain of stimulation coming back to the brain to tell it to make changes. If you think in terms of brain function, people will think, well, I've got to study harder. Well, that's cool, but what you're only doing is you're working one small part of the brain. When you use movement and you link movement to cognition, thinking, then what you're getting is global activation of your brain. This is where evolutionary stuff comes from. That's a left brain logical function. It has a feel into it, doesn't it? If you feel into it, if you close your eyes and do this stuff, that's a feeling. Now go like this. Slowly and calmly. Close your eyes and do it. Now that's a right brain creative function. Can you feel the difference between those two things? So let's try another one. Here we go. Hands in front of faces. Just one. Here we go. Around the back, up and around. Ready? Around the back, up and around. Okay, so everyone's seen this one, right? What am I doing? Alright. Here we go. Okay, I want motivation. Come on. Give me a clap. Here we go. Wow. Thank you very, very much for listening to me. It's great to be in Melbourne, and we'd love to come back again, but we need you guys to tell us what you want. If you liked the mixed room today, or you didn't like it, send us an email and tell us what you want. We'll come back and we'll highlight even more people.
One of the things that we decided when we decided to have this event was that we were only going to have sponsors who shared the same ethos, because I guess the whole point of it is to have integrity and to really showcase people who are phenomenal in the area of health. So we wanted that to carry through to our sponsors. So I'd like to mention them really quickly now, if that's okay.
Change for change. One way. Afraid that you'll break. Could break any day.